Trinidad and Tobago, a multicultural island in the Caribbean, renowned for beautiful scenery, beaches, and arguably one of the greatest festivals around, our carnival. The music indigenous to us is steel pan, calypso, kaiso, chutney, and soca. But there's an emerging subculture that boasts dancehall, hip-hop, R&B, pop, and even rock. This year is a discussion amongst artists and other entertainment personalities to bring those genres to the fore after Carnival, in this short entitled, After the Mass.
With the hard palm, girl, them a watch me every time we come.
Yeah, if I see that beat 15 top down with the Gucci print.
My name is Kevin Allan. I go by the sobriquet Vetta. You may know me from songs like Rolling in a Foreign News or Vetta Accent. I've been involved in music business for over 10 years, so I've seen a lot of stuff artists come, artists go. I know some of the ins and outs of the business too, right? So the reason why I'm doing this after the mass is because what happens to the artists after Carnival, the local artists who do the dancehall, the hip-hop, reggae and R&B. I find like they don't get their fair share or the fair play on radio. So I just have a discussion amongst my panel here right now for us to see what's the problem and how we could fix the problem. So, you all ready? Follow me. Here we have Chromatics, recording artist, businessman, and is considered as one of the hardest working hip-hop artists in Trinidad and Tobago. He also had a strained relationship with several radio stations on artist rights and local content on radio.
Them just copying wherever the fucking Hot 97 playlist or IRF or whoever in Jamaica. So that is the big tunes out there, or that is the big tunes in America on whatever chart, R&B and hip-hop chart, and that means that is the good music. Still have this mentality of foreign is better, and that is not true. It's just all your perspective on things. It's all kind of different things. Them like ranking thing too. A lot of them like ranking fucking things. You understand? No, because they want to build up. They go build up foreign artists, right? And creating the demand. And when them artists come down now, they boy, I was backstage with thing and you're on the radio and you know you want girls wanna bully and them kind of thing. Die what they like.
He also spoke about the profitability of creating a local music market and the benefits and financial gain that could arise from it.
My whole thing is economics. You understand? Them cutting off a real serious supply of money and influx of money into the economy and into the local market. This might sound very self-centered because I am an artist, but who pay any producer? Who pay any engineer? Who pay any video director? Who pay any models? Who pay any makeup artist? Once the artist has an influx of money via their career, you create jobs. We had the supply of all this incredible music, but they're not helping in create the demand amongst the public.
Caught up with Ryan Shinghong, aka Chiny Mastermind behind the mega event Chinatown, and radio personality on Red 96.7. with his views on the mentality of upcoming artists on airplay and perceived hindrance, or what we call fight down.
I think it's fight down, Dan. I think that's like ignorant. That is something that we is go to plenty now. When you ain't getting what you want or what you deserve, a man fighting it down. Everything about time and a place, right? It's a real man feel they just go in a studio, sing a song, and they pay for the mix and master. It must play. The stars didn't align for you to get no airplay because the song is shit. Daddy, alright, let me use myself as an example, right? Let me use myself. I sing 4 soca songs. So if I ask anybody, man will watch me and ball, Dan, you never sing in your life. I sing 4 garbage heap. 4 different times. But you know what? It helped me to understand. Ryan, Chiny, here what going on. Maybe that is not for you. And I take my constructive criticism. You understand? And I move on. Men laugh at me. So what? It's too much a feelings thing because boy, I sing this song and every day for the week I breaking a dawn and you don't know me in eating and I pay 10,000. Who tell you to go and sing? I tell you go and sing is you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I want to be an artist. These are the things artists have to do. Go in the studio from 6 to 6. So, what the fuck you talking about?
Later on, he gave us some guidelines, in his view, what is necessary to be a successful artist in Trinidad and Tobago.
Your first step as an artist is finding yourself. The second step is producing yourself. When I say producing yourself, you're enhancing your craft. You're going and do the necessary things to make sure you have a hit. The other thing after that is your PR. And we don't have no PR. A man will sing a song and expect to hear a tune, mix and master tonight. He want to hear a tune tomorrow on the radio. And he don't want to hear it on one radio station. He want to hear it on all. How it reaching there? Nobody don't know ya. Nobody don't know your song. But when men tell you them thing, you're fighting me down. Yeah, you have to position yourself. You have to engage yourself. Let's use the hierarchy of the music industry. Forget the genre. If you check any hierarchy of the industry, them fellas and them have a PR team. Ladies as well. The best marketing, the best PR. Yeah. So all you have to do really and truly as the artist is make sure you're healthy to perform and you know your shit. You understand? Now I ain't comparing what we have done here to them. But just like they started with no one, they had to learn the disciplines now. And that's what we're missing. We're missing that.
Go down, jiggle it, go down, jiggle it, go down, jiggle it, go down, jiggle it, go down. Show them how you fit, so when you reach the ground, bust a split.
This is Devon Moses, who goes by the sobriquet Father Moses, a recording artist and radio personality who had one of the biggest dancehall hits in Trinidad and Tobago to date. Being on both sides of the fence as an artist and announcer, he explains the inner workings of radio with regards to airplay of local music.
One thing I learned in the music industry, do not take anything personal. If you release a song and you never hear that song, think about it. We have probably like about 4 urban radio stations that on top, right? That everybody will listen to. You think that every single DJ that come on air, every single announcer, really against you and not playing your song? And if you could ask yourself that and you could answer it, then the answer is the truth. There are DJs who love the local music too, you know, but they just come in and they're just doing their job. It's only a few men may step out of the box and try and do something different. You understand? Try and say, hey, you know, it had a song, and they might carry a song to the program director, and he might say, yeah, song is good, let's put it on the rotation list. But not everybody will do that. When a DJ goes and play on air, he might play for 3 hours and you might not hear one local song. It's not that he against his country, you know, he's just working.
Man, no one no girl if them confidence low. If you know you're hot girl, yeah, what to do? Step in at the light, show me what you can do. No bad mind can walk your avenue, where you touch it, touch it.
This is a twin island republic. We are island. We are the Caribbean, the tropical Caribbean. When people come from New York and all these cool places and Canada and so on, when they come to Trinidad, they want to feel off of the Caribbean. So when they come here, they don't want to hear Drake and Jay-Z and all these fellas. They hearing that every day on radio. Abroad, we need to feed them what the Caribbean have to offer. Many people may approach me daily and say, yo, why are you hearing so much of Jamaican music in your country? Is this Jamaica? You understand? And we need to look at that. You understand? Feed the people this. We have a lot of artists providing real good content, proper videos, proper marketing on Facebook. They have fan base. Why these songs not on air? Why these artists have to go and fund their own tour and all of this thing? And you know, it's real unfortunate. Let us support these artists. The only how this thing could kick off is if they get the support. As I say, support. That is the number one basis for this thing to change. If we don't do that, it's going nowhere. Fast.
Matter girl, no time to giggle. Cameraman, bring your side, put them in the spotlight. That way you touch it, fan it, 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 touch it, fan it.
This is Karen Seeley, aka Sonny Bling, a radio personality, comedian, and brand ambassador, speaking about being innovative and paving your own path to success in the industry.
If you're DJing a party, you could play what you want, in a sense of the word. You know, you're still pleasing the crowd, it's not about you. But you can play what you want because you're out there doing your own private gig, right? But as for a radio stations come with programming. Programming come like a set of rules to follow, guidelines, as in any other job. And in any radio station, there are programmers and they would say, no, we're pushing this, we're pushing that. According to what the programmers decide, and that's their job. And then they, put that information out there and DJs have to do their do from there. I'd really like to support the team when people say, boy, fight down. I think people need to grow some balls and, get with the program and work around it. Okay, it's a fight down for 2 years. It's a fight down for 5 years. It's a fight down for 10 years. Well, walk a different road to get to the same end point now. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like everybody doing the same thing, you know what I mean? Because there's always a fight. How come it's not a fight for me? I'm just saying. How come it's not a fight for me? No, I ain't no soca artist or anything, but my point is, radio and all is not the easiest road either. Being on Billboard and getting endorsements and things is not the easiest thing, unless every other radio man would have it. So my point is, how? Because I decide I'm going to do something different. So why everybody else will decide to do something different? My point is, I do what I'm good at. I host shows. I barely even play in clubs. You know why? I am not in that top 10 rating. I'm not salty. I'm not traveling, and I know that, and that's not a problem to me. That's why they get the boat rides and they get the clubs, because they're great at that. And if you say, boy, I'll train a party, the top 3 names ain't going to be mine. My name ain't going to pop up in there. But if you talk about a good corporate event, you talk about a good host for a good show, the first 3 names, my name is sure to be in there. And I have decided to focus on that. And that's where it is. So people just need to focus their energies where people want you. You don't know where you want it. If you ain't want it, well...
Later, he spoke on being true to yourself and knowing if the music business is really for you.
The point is that once a song is good or great, you're going to feel it. It's not about, I just want to play my things. Maybe you just didn't do a good song. And you just mama guy in yourself because 3 of your brethren tell you, dog, you have it. Daddy, you have it. No, that's not it. Sometimes friends need to be honest. You know what I mean? It's true they realize they just spent $20,000. But honesty is the best policy. Yo, yeah, that's the worst 20 you could spend, dog. Somebody need to be in the crew to say that. Because this thing is not for everybody. And sometimes people need to wake up and smell the coffee and get real. Don't be the mama guy in yourself and saying it's the DJ fault, the producer ain't playing the right beat, or this man isn't pushing my tune. At the end of the day, it's hard work. This thing is marketing. An executive from Universal once said that unseen is unheard. If you're in entertainment and you intend to be in entertainment, you have to be seen. So are you in the clubs liming? Are you by the favorite bars liming? Are you at the most popular events liming? You know what I mean? Is it that we on all social media sites, you're posting regularly? What you doing? If you ain't doing none of them things, you don't need to deal with this. Go and pick up a broom and sweep.
I spoke to Joel Morris, also known as Signal to Noise, a respected veteran in the DJ business and general manager of the TBC radio network, which includes Slam 100.5, one of the more popular urban stations in Trinidad and Tobago. And he gave us reasons for lack of local music being played.
When it comes to hip-hop music, dancehall music, any music that is not solely owned by us, right? But we understand it very well. And that's what happens with these young DJs. When you grow up hearing DJZs, right, and the PDDs, right, and so on, and you're hearing this high level of rap at a high standard. When a Trinidadian comes and he starts to sing rap, he has to be at that high standard. If he's not at that high standard, the DJ will have a problem with it because he's subliminally judging you based on what he knows.
He also gave us insight to the business of radio and broke down the science on the inner workings and what transpires behind the scenes.
Radio station is a business, right? The artist would spend $17,000, $6,000, $12,000 to do his track. The radio station owner would spend $3 million to establish his business because his overheads are a lot, his capital expenditure is a lot more, right? So there you have the same scenario on both ends. The artist may be upset that the radio station is not playing his song, but the radio station, right, just like any other business, has a programming team, music team, programming team that represents his brand, right? And they select the music. And if his ratings is number 1, he's not going to go against his programming team because his team represents his audience. I mean, I always use Mark Hardy and they as an example because I think they're the perfect example of this. They were singing hardcore rap as well. And then they decided to do a song where they switch it up with some local palance and local twang and started to talk about 2 doubles with slight pepper and all kind of thing. And they brought that sense of identity into the music and that song became a hit.
This is the prolific duo of Marcus Braveboy, aka Mark Hardy, and Isaac Young Rudder, hip-hop artists who receive substantial airplay on local airwaves, speaking about non-reliance solely on radio and the importance of social media to an artist.
The radio is the middle person between the artist and the people, right? Social media changed the game. You don't need 100%, not to disrespect the radio or nothing, because the radio has supported us and we still need the radio in a lot of ways because they put us on different platforms. But you don't need the radio to get people to know your song. So it's like artists, you could post something on Facebook, on Twitter, 20 people share it, it might reach the right person, you know? And I just feel like a lot of artists not utilizing social media. I think it's laziness, either laziness or that they're not aware of the power of social media. But I just think the whole conversation of fight down not as relevant as it was years ago. You have to find where demand in your music. And I think artists, they will do the basic. Maybe send an email to the radio station and release the song on Facebook and wait. And then when nothing happening, fight down boy, them rating on we boy, so and so. And it's not that, man. I was saying, I tell the artists, but I need to work now. At the end of the day, you're selling cool. That's what you're selling on urban radio stations in particular. Or even the white radio stations or the uptown radio stations, right? But with urban, you're selling what's cool. And local hip-hop artists from Trinidad, some people kind of see it as a kind of joke because how you going to be talking about pushing these whips and doing that and everybody's in a trap. I mean, it's Trinidad now. You know what I mean? And I'm a thing, being yourself, somehow that was not seen, it wasn't deemed cool.
They further went on to explain, in their opinion, the biggest drawback with local artists and their music having an impact to the general public.
It's a complete culture and identity crisis that was going on there. Yeah. Like, I think that's what's going on with a lot of Trinidadians now. Like, they live in a Trinidadian life every day. But like, all the other influences that they're looking at foreigners. So they kind of like, this is me, but I don't know, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do what I see all the time or what I actually live every day, right? That's why it's like this. A lot of people will just naturally appreciate us because we, as hard as we do the local stuff. But then there's the people who are so far removed that they will say, we are, but I just want to say this before I make the point. The definition of the word a gimmick, right, is a trick or else to catch people. As in, not being yourself to catch people. That's what a great gimmick is. And they'll say that we are a gimmick. We talk about everyday life. But men who talking not like how they speak, right? Not the life they live it at all, in any way, form or fashion. Dressing like how they do not dress on a daily basis even. Right? Men who doing that.
Talking about girls that they never get. Talking about bottles they never buy. Talking about cars they never drive. You're just trying to copy what out there now. And that will never, as you said, that will never sell out there because you are a more inferior version to what they're saying out there because the quality of music isn't the same as out there. And sometimes the quality of rap, so. And that is an issue with him. And people not saying that.
The point of media, as I said, is to disseminate information, and the point of art is to change status quo, period. But the artists are voices of the people, because you're speaking about everyday experiences that many people can connect to. That's what makes musicians so successful. The amount of people you can bring together on a single chorus, right? So if you learn that consistently and training people's ears, you creating a culture of listening, of listening to music and being interactive with your artists in different ways and building them up. You're building yourself up as a society the same way now.
Pocket full of money, what the girl start to scream. Where's the scene? 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 It's like and all the lies to the people better cut it off. Time for we to take a stand, make sure them lock it off. Give the youths the guns and act like them not know who bust it off. Turn around, smiling on we face like it's a joke and laugh. It's time we realize they're taking us for clones. Stand for something or for anything, you're falling down to the evil doers. What goes around must come back around. Must come back around, telling you this. Watch out the
Met with Kwesi Hopkinson, otherwise known as Hoppy, radio announcer for 96.7 and CEO of entertainment powerhouse Scorch, known for their magazine and riveting parties. And he stated his argument on why artists should pursue soca music over the other genres.
I believe we need to know what we want, or what we're doing, or where we're going. You understand? We have to have an objective collectively now. Like everybody now have to say, you know. And I'll tell you, we already have a genre that we set the bar. Right? Why work against that? Why not work with that? You know? It reaches the point now where people are stealing our thing. I'm calling it tropical house or whatever they want to call it. You know, they're stealing from us. And when I say us, I'm talking about even the Caribbean and the whole. You understand? Jamaica and Trinidad. The thieving parts of the soca, the thieving parts of the dancehall. You understand? Pay together and package it for the white people. They are major laser. Huh? And you can't get them wrong. It's business.
He further gave grounds to back up his stance and the practicality behind it.
Soca collectively has put in the hours, has the hours. That's why the level and the soca, the music, we set the bar for the world. Right? Everybody else now have to come to us. Come to our level. You understand? Because we set the bar, we set the pace, we make the clock. Right? You're on our timing. And you following another genre, you are going on their timing. So you know how to step to their bar. And they're putting them hours. Because you talk about millions or thousands of artists, hundreds of artists, thousands of artists with thousands of hours. Huh? In every other genre. Hip hop, pop, rock. And you coming to compete with that? Think about Afrobeats now. I'm sure there are plenty hip hop artists in Africa or dancehall artists in Africa. But you see that Afrobeat, that's what they can market. It's like gold. It's like a natural resource. Why would you not? If I'm an African in Africa now, I had to be a jackass just go and try to sing flicking something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, really and truly, think about it. To me, the Africans now start to have a collective vision that they all, their objective is the same. And they started to go on what they're going, it's like Jamaicans. So, there's no industry, I would say, down here for the other genres. Because, yeah, you have a music industry, but 95% of the music industry, to be paid in that industry, is in the soca market.
Music TT, the government-mandated entity responsible for the promotion and advancement of local music, had an event. There, I spoke to some attendees to get feedback on the topic of fair airplay for local artists after Carnival.
At the end of the day, people have mouths to feed. It is a business. And if corporate Trinidad and Tobago is not supporting it, if people are not listening to it, then it is the owners of our radio station manager. That's like any other business. Say, watch me, I had to make a change. I love this music, I love this culture, but that's not paying the bills. So we have to support our own.
A lot of music, once you bring it correct, once the vibe is correct, once it is presented correct, once the marketing is right, once the product is right, it is going to get played. Of course it's going to be played. Hence the reason you get hit songs. And hence the reason you find other people complaining about boy the fighting me down, they ain't playing no song. But check yourself. And I think that is one of the biggest problems in Trinidad. They're always looking to find fault with something else rather than the real problem now. And unless we stop doing that, we will always have this problem now. You know, stop blaming the government, stop blaming the radio station, stop blaming DJs. Look within yourself.
To an extent, I think a lot of irrelevant foreign music is played on the radio. I mean, yeah, you have your pop songs, you have your hit songs, you have the popular music, you have what's happening right now. But some things that they push is just unnecessary. Some things they shove down the people and them throat unnecessary. Yeah. down in the throat that is put, yeah.
Hi, I'm Janelle Fronton. I'm the GM of Music TT. Music TT is a subsidiary of Creative TT, which is a state agency responsible for the business development and the export activities of the entire creative sector. So alongside music, there's also fashion and film. We have a lot of gaps all along the value chain. We have a lot of things that are missing, a lot of things that are not right. The system itself seems very broken, and many have said that the industry they feel does not exist. They feel like it's a hustle. They don't feel like they have what it takes to reach places as a result of things that we aren't doing as the government. I believe, as they also said, it's also their responsibility to do their work as an artist, so as a producer, as a DJ, as a broadcaster, to make sure that the music is carried where it needs to be. But we need to help that happen by making sure the system is fixed. So many of the things we'll be looking into include local content and radio, and making sure music is heard here and played here and respected here, straight through to entertainment spaces and creative hubs, and making sure that we have actual places that people can go to hear music and be a part of things. We also want to take a really huge look into the education aspect of the music industry, not just in terms of the musicianship itself, but also in terms of music business. We find that a lot of our music managers, from what was told today, operate like booking agents rather than actual managers. It could just be a lack of knowledge. UTT mentioned today that they're looking into designing new certificate programs that can cater to things like these, and we'll be working alongside them to ensure that they can really represent the needs of the industry and address them with their programs.
Okay, so what we should be doing for the music industry in Trinidad and Tobago and by extension the wider Caribbean. First of all, one of the first things I think is that we have to return to a sense of cultural confidence, a confidence in who we are as a people and what it is that we create. In one of the many discussions that has transpired over many years in Trinidad and Tobago, it's all about what who's going to be ready for the market outside. Well, we have to be ready for ourselves. We first have to create music and create cultural content and product that we consume, that we buy, that we support, and then the rest of the world falls in love with us. It doesn't start the other way around. The other thing too is that people have to invest in themselves, standards, learning about the business, learning about, if you're an artist, learning to be the best artist so that you practice your craft and you become very good at it and you excel. In terms of what we require in the environment, we need government and public institutions to understand the value of intellectual property, to understand the value that the cultural industries are not only to us, to the soul of the people, but that that it's good business. So we're in an age of diminishing returns on oil and gas and manufacturing and what have you, and the world is run by intellectual property. So in terms of our music industry here, we need to be doing a couple of things in terms of putting the education of the business and creativity in the school system. You can't want to do it when you're coming out of the school system, so that parents and so will recognize that if their son or their daughter wanted to be a musician, or they wanted to be an entertainment attorney or a publicist or what have you, that it is a valid and it's a profession that is noble. It's not just about churning out more accountants, more doctors, more nurses. Yeah, lots of those. The other thing is the role of government, not only in terms of education, but in terms of support, live centers and places where teaching for the business goes on. Creativity, good performance spaces, studios, those are the kinds of things that we require.
Well, that's it. What you just saw was a collected view on the topic of airplay for local artists after Carnival. Some interesting points were raised, and we got some insight for the reason behind the lack of local content on radio, and also some suggestions on how this could be fixed. Now, in my view, I believe there's a market for this type of music. I'm a person, I keep my ears to the street, and I believe the people want and will support this type of movement. But it takes everybody, the general public, the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the videographers, everybody to come together with the main goal of promoting and supporting this type of action. And who knows, sky could be the limit to how far we could really go with this. Just some food for thought. My name is Vetta Allan. Thanks for watching. Until next time, later.